is to the member for Denison under Standing Order 99. I refer to the Private Members Bill, Order of the Day number 33, relating to the mandatory banking code of conduct standing in your name. This bill is a great example of why it is important that we have independent representation in parliament and demonstrates how we as independents are representing our communities in this place. Can the minister tell the House when he thinks the debate on the bill will be resumed, and what process is needed for the House to fully consider this bill so this important matter can be fully debated and our communities informed?
The question did refer to the minister, but the opening preamble referred to the member, so we'll go to the member for Denison. Just before I call the member for Denison, though, I just remind the House of the parameters of the standing order referred to by the member for Indi that's outlined in practice with respect to the Procedure Committee's consideration of these questions, and that was that certainly these questions should be allowed, and I will be allowing the question, but the answer needs to confine itself to matters of timing and procedure. The member for Denison has the call.
Thank you, Speaker. And I thank the member for Indi for her question and also her tireless efforts to represent and to help the good people of the electorate of Indi, particularly when it comes to banking reform. And in fact, Speaker, I acknowledge the good efforts of all of my crossbench colleagues when it comes to their efforts to bring about reform of the banking sector, and in particular to see a proper inquiry into the banks through either a Royal Commission or a Commission of Inquiry. Now, in regard to the substance of the question and the direction from the Speaker, I am able to inform the House Speaker that the Banking Amendment establishing an effective Code of Conduct Bill 2017 is now before the House. I've in fact moved the second reading, and it's now up to the Selection Committee to decide on the resumption of the debate. Now, I of course am not on the Selection Committee, Speaker, and I can't speak for it, but I would encourage the Selection Committee to allow the resumption of the second reading debate, Speaker, because this is a matter that is of great interest to all of the community, and I would hope to all of the members of this House. Because the fact is, Speaker, that the current banking code of conduct is ineffective. It is written, funded and implemented by the banks, and what we need
the member for Denison will resume his seat. The member for Cheffley's about to not be here to even hear the point of order. The Leader of the House.
Well, Mr. Speaker, much as I hate to be the Grinch that stole Christmas, it is an important precedent.
Well,
it's an important precedent, and as you pointed out to the member for Denison, he has to confine his remarks to the procedures and processes. The procedures and processes are
members on my left.
99 for the carriage of this bill, and now he is straying into the substance of the matter, which is therefore a debating point. Why don't you look up the rules and practices and know what the standing order is?
The Leader of the House.
It's sad for you.
Leader of the House will resume his seat. Leader of the House will resume his seat. The member for Sydney is warned. The Manager of Opposition Business.
Thanks. To the point of order, Mr. Speaker. It would be a long time since the Leader of the House had confined his answers to his own ministerial responsibility.
The Manager of Opposition Business will
flexibility in what is one very unusual and rare question.
The member for Barton is warned. Member for Denison can resume his seat just for a second. I've listened to the Manager of Opposition Business. I made clear what the practice is with respect to consideration by the Procedure Committee. I was ready to rule on it, but out of deference I did want to hear from the Manager of Opposition Business in case he had another point of view to add. Can I say very clearly that I was about to ask the member for Denison to resume his seat. The first part of his answer has been completely in order. He's rapidly gone off-road now, and he needs to confine himself to the timing and procedure. With respect to the Manager of Opposition's point of view, it's a reasonable point of view to put, but he'll need to put that to the Procedure Committee. The member for Denison needs to confine himself to the timing and to the procedure.
Well,
not to what he sees as the merits of his bill, if I can put it that way.
Well, thank you, Speaker, for your guidance on this, and of course I'm very mindful of it.
It's not. I just say to the member for Denison, I don't want to be headmasterly here, but it's not guidance; it's a ruling, and this is not a negotiation. So, you know, get the car back on the road, or we're going to move on.
Thank you, Speaker. Well, returning to the issue of process and when we might see the selection committee direct that the second reading be continued, I would hope that the selection committee is very mindful of the fact in their deliberations that, in fact, a mirror image of this bill was moved by myself 5 years ago in 2012, and it received no support from the then Labor government or the then Liberal National Coalition. So I would hope that the selection committee this time around, Speaker, would understand that the situation is even more dire, there is even greater concern in the community about the behaviour of the banks, and that there is an urgent need for the issue of the bank's conduct to be dealt with. So returning again to the issue of process. You know, we talk about a lot of things in this place. The selection committee, it makes a lot of decisions about what will be dealt with in this place. But I would encourage the selection committee to be mindful that there is nothing or very little more important for us to consider at the moment than the widespread angst in the community about the conduct of the banking sector, and in particular the Big Four banks, for the need that there be a mandatory legislated code of conduct that is overseen by the government and the minister.
I ask the member for Denison in the remaining 20 seconds to come back to the parameters of his answer that I've outlined now twice in the last 20 seconds, or we'll need to move on.
Well, in my last 20 seconds, Speaker, if I can just make the point that while we don't know when this bill will be dealt with by this place, we should hope and encourage the selection committee to see the merit of the issue that it addresses and of the importance for it to be brought into this place as soon as possible so we can start the process of reining in the banks.